Well, I want to welcome all of you to our Let's Get You to Executive Sales Leader. I am so excited tonight to speak with all of you sales leaders that are on the call live and all of you that are going to be listening to this call. So this is our first Get You to Executive Sales Leader call, and I'm so excited to have this opportunity to talk with all of you and share all of the great best business practices to help you promote to executive sales leader. And I will say very selfishly, when you do promote to executive sales leader, you get to join the Executive Sales Leader Facebook page. And that is such a phenomenal group of leaders, and I have the privilege of administering that Facebook page. So we have a lot of fun on there. And there was something else I was going to remind you of. Oh, and it slipped my mind. So I know. You are welcome to type in questions as we go along, and I'll do my best to either answer them as we go, or I will answer them at the end. I am saving time at the end for questions and answers. So this call will last probably between 45 minutes and an hour. This is the first run through, so we'll get a chance to see. And then I'm saving 15 minutes at the end or longer for questions. I need to finish this call, though, at an hour and 15 minutes because, as I said, then starts the Promote to Sales Leader call. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Oops. Well, maybe we'll go here. There we go. So I thought I would start with this one tonight because many of you, if not everyone on this call, attended national conference and heard John Gordon. And I think these are great rules for the ride of your life to executive sales leader and beyond. You're the driver. Always remember that. It's up to you to drive this bus. Your desire and your vision and certainly your focus is going to move you towards the direction you want to go in, not that others want you to go in. You fuel that ride with positive energy, and that's the beauty of the Executive Sales Leader Facebook page. They are full of positiveness. So once you join, you will just continue to enjoy that positiveness. Obviously, you want to invite people to get on your bus, right? And part of what allows you to build your business and build your organization and grow into leadership is your vision. And you want to share that vision with all who are on that bus with you. You don't want to waste your energy for those who don't want to get on your bus, right? Oops, you're still on the first slide. Sorry about that. I showed my screen. Thank you for letting me know. There we go. Can you see it now? Thank you, Ariel. I'll just wait a minute to make sure. Yay! Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate you letting me know. Thought it was forward. So you don't want to waste your energy on those who don't want to get on your bus, right? So those are people who are not wanting to be part of this incredible organization that you're building. Post a sign, no energy vampires allowed, right? You need positive energy moving your business forward. You want enthusiasm that attracts people and energizes people so they want to stay on your bus and go on the ride. To love your passengers, give them the training and the support that they are looking for and that Norwex pays you to do, right? You're paid as a leader to train and support all those loving passengers that are on your bus. And whether those are consultants in your group, consultants that are personals, or if you're lucky enough to have a first level, you want to love them all. They all deserve the same amount of love. Drive with a purpose. Yeah, what's your why? We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. What is your why? What is it that gets you up every day? What is it that helps you get over the speed bumps of your business that don't turn them into big old mountains, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And then have fun and enjoy the ride. So you all can see these slides, right? So as I move forward, and you're welcome to take pictures if you want of any of the slides. As I mentioned, this is being recorded. So if you want to go back over it, you are certainly welcome to do that. So just type in if for some reason you can't see my slides. So here we go. So goals, that big hairy word that often we as women don't even like to speak. But it's important to set goals, and it all starts with your why, right? Your why. That's got to be what goes first. That's what I said earlier, gets you over those speed bumps. Once you've figured out what your why is, then it's the what, right? What is it that I'm going to accomplish? And I love this one, the how. Sometimes we forget that. Now, all of you that were at National Conference downloaded the Party 360 app, did your why board, and then hopefully continued throughout all of the buckets, if you will, so that you got to the end of the survey with a commitment and found some training that will support you in the goals that you have. So that's your what and your how. And certainly that's something that you can continue to use, and we encourage you to use with your team moving forward. Janet and Dennis, I think men like to set goals, but we skip the why. It's so true. So true. The why is what will help you go towards those goals. So great observation. So if you have not done your why board on the 360 app, please download it and make sure you add all of your fabulous pictures to your whiteboard. And I recommend that you use your whiteboard as your screensaver on your phone or on your computer. So let's talk about your business plan. So important, right? You've all seen the success promise that's in the new consultant guide, the 5-step guide. So it's important to use that. I like to kind of call that a power statement too. So you use that at your parties when you meet people. If you haven't done that, I ask you to consider getting your success promise in a place that you're comfortable and it kind of rolls off your tongue so that you're able to share your success promise, as I said, whenever you meet someone and you want to share about Norwex. Also on there, you'll notice that it talks about how many parties you want to hold each month and launch parties. Now, obviously, that's for your newest consultant, but you want to make sure your success promise is clear, then you can support your newest consultants. And then, of course, we have the leadership success promise. This helps you determine the goals and the what and the how, right? So this comes in your leadership. This is from your leadership development guide. So you can see a copy in there. And I encourage you to be really clear on what your dreams, goals, and your passion is with your business. I remember when I was in the field, it was my why that helped me get over what I thought sometimes were very challenging situations, and it put everything back in perspective for me. So again, if you were not at National Conference, this is what the 360 app form looked like that we gave you all at National Conference. So you could write all of your goals and ideas and thoughts in each bucket of the book, Sell, Recruit, Earn, and Grow, because really those are the best practices of your business. And then you come up with your growth plan that is really your commitment to yourself, what you plan to do. And this is more of the what, and then the next part, of course, is the how. I strongly encourage you to forward this new growth plan to your leaders so they can support you in this growth plan towards executive sales leader, because that's what it says, right? I plan to promote to executive sales leader. And let them know when. What's your time frame? So your leader can support you. And then certainly forward it on to your regional sales manager. And I recommend that you send it via email because then that shows your leader and your regional sales manager what trainings were recommended from the app for you to follow through with. And that helps everybody, right? So you know exactly what to focus on. So this healthy business checkup, and I apologize for its fuzziness, is from the Leader Latte forms that we use, or the little booklet that we use. And I just love this because it really puts things in the buckets that we have from our Party 360. It just doesn't say the buckets. It's so important for you to look at your business every month. And something that might be new for you is on the left-hand side where it says monthly team sales goals, monthly team recruiting goals. That may be new for you. And I encourage you to reach out to your leader and or regional sales manager to help forecast that. It's not as easy to forecast if you've never done it before, but the information is on your TRM reports. So once you get used to using them and begin to forecast this a little bit, you will be able to determine what is it that you want to encourage your team to sell. What is it that you want to encourage your team to do as far as joining your organization? And then I love what's working well. What would you like to do better? That's also really part of the 360 app when you go through the survey. Same with bookings, recruiting, and new consultants. You're now in a place that you have at least a team of 10, and hopefully that's growing. You're going to want to make sure that you have an onboarding process for your new consultants. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. I encourage you again, if you don't have a system yet, go to your leader and or your regional sales manager. Where can I download these 3 forms? They should be on your back office. I think the Leader Latte is on your back office. It may not be. This healthy business checkup, but you're welcome to take a picture of it right now so that you have it. Susan Bauer's on the call tonight, our director of training, and she says they're on the back office. Thank you, Susan Bauer, and they're all fillable. So fabulous. Thank you. So great to have the expert on the phone tonight. So let's talk about executive sales leader. You're wanting to know exactly what that takes, right? So let's talk about the qualifications. I suspect you all know this, that you need a minimum of 10 engaged personal recruits, 25 total, right? In your commissionable downline. And you need to submit $300 in the qualifying month. So this would be whatever month you've determined that you want to promote to executive sales leader. So let's say it's this month, August. You want to make sure you have 10 engaged personal recruits, 25 total, so 15 others, wherever those come from. They can be additional personals. They can be people that are in your group. They can be in your commissionable downline. So that would be your level 1. So that would be a sales leader. What are the benefits to you when you promote? Oh, yeah, well, that remains the same with a 35% discount on personal sales as well as 35% profit. It isn't just about the discount, right? You don't just do this for the product. You have 5% commission on your group sales. That has not changed. 2% on your TC's personal recruits and 5% on your TC's recruits, your TC's indirect recruits, and hopefully you know that. I'm going to go over that a little bit more in a minute. But look at this. You get a little bit of a raise here, 2% on your level 1. Now, the rest of this doesn't change, right? That's always there for you, the $150 and the $300 shopping sprees, right, with your personal recruits. Is the 2% in addition to the group sales? Yes, your group sales, Ariel, are everyone in your group that you have personally recruited or your personal recruits have recruited. Now, when you have a TC in your group, you split that 5%, right? She earns 3% on her personal recruits. You earn 2% on her personal recruits. However, anyone in a TC's personal recruit group that recruits, so if I can get you through this, they're indirect to the TC, you earn 5% on. So I'm going to show you that in a slide that might be a little bit easier to understand. But many leaders don't understand that they are paid 5% on a TC's indirect recruits. So that means anyone that's not personal to the TC. So I'll show you that in a minute. Then once you promote, similar to where you are as a sales leader, you simply must submit 400 instead of 300 personal sales monthly, and you have to have 25 active. Obviously, active is 250 in a 3-month period, and 10 must be personals, right? So that hasn't changed. It's kind of just like you do now with your sales leader. Instead of 5, you need 10. Instead of 5 more, you need 15 more. So it's a total of 25. And then you have a couple other perks that you will be invited to join the ESL Facebook page, which, as I mentioned earlier, is very fun. And I look forward to having you join us. And you're also invited to join the monthly Leader Facebook event. So that's the leader training that the company does every month, facilitated by Susan Bauer and her team, as well as the regional sales managers are typically on hosting. So there's some nice additional perks that I want you to know about. So let's take that comp plan step by step. So here's where you are now, right? You're the sales leader. You have at least 5 personal recruits, and you are being paid 5% monthly on their sales as long as the maintenance requirements are being met. And you can see, let's say little sales consultant to the left here, she has recruited someone. You earn 5% on her because she's part of your group. Okay, so here's part of your group. Then you've got the one in the middle here who has recruited 3. So she's promoted to team coordinator. Remember, you're splitting the commission with her. So you earn 2% on her personal recruits. She earns 3. But notice that one little one down there. So that's the indirect. That's the bottom one on here. I think I'm going to name these little girls later, or boys, so it'll be easier to work with. But straight down there, you see that the TC has an indirect recruit. That means you earn 5% on any indirect recruits of a team coordinator. So you want to encourage your team coordinators to continue to grow. And of course, the more they grow, the bigger your group grows and your income, and you're getting her or him ready to promote to sales leader, right? So we don't want to stop them at 3 personal recruits. Any questions here on this? I hope, Ariel, I took care of that. Will you explain 2% on level 1? Yeah. So let's go back there. Level 1 is your sales leaders and their group. Okay, so let's go back to this, and let's say that one that your TC, let's say she is now a sales leader. Let's say there's 10 people down there. She is still a personal of yours, so you still earn 5% on her sales, but you now will earn, as an executive sales leader, 2% on all of her 10 people. Okay, as a sales leader, you earn 1% on her 10 people, but as an executive sales leader, you get a little bump there. Hooray! Somebody likes that. Hooray, hooray! Okay, Martha, how about if the sales consultant at the middle bottom has sponsored someone? Yes, they are not leveled to you yet, Martha. They are part of your group. Levels are leaders, are breakaways. That's when a level comes into play. But they're not leveled to you if they're within your group and there's no sales leader between you and them. So you're right. If the 5% little girl here or little circle at the very bottom of this example recruits someone, you're absolutely right. That's 5% for you because, again, it's an indirect to the team coordinator. Hope that helps. Yeah, 5%. You're right. What do we get on sales consultants recruits? Yeah, so that's over here. So let's look at this example again. Go all the way to the, I think it's the left-hand side. Actually, the left and the right-hand consultants on both ends. They've both recruited someone. So you earn 5%. And let's say each of them recruit and recruit and recruit and recruit. Again, there's no sales leader between you and them, so you continue to earn 5%. Yeah, so build away, build away, build away. How fun, huh? So let's look at an executive sales leader organization. So this is you now, let's say. There's 10 that you've personally recruited, and then there's that one little bubble down below. So that means one of your consultants recruited. So let's build this a little bit for you. So you've continued to recruit, which is exactly what you want to do. Oops, there comes another indirect recruit, but part of your 5%. So everyone that I'm showing you, all these circles are all 5%ers to you, whether they're personal or those two little ones at the bottom, they're indirect recruits. That means you didn't personally recruit them, but you're earning 5% on this whole bunch of circles. Oops, here comes another indirect, 5%, another personal, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%. Oops, look at, she decided to promote to team coordinator. So remember, the one that promoted is still personal to you. She's 5%. And those other little three, you're splitting the 5% with the team coordinator. So she's earning 3% on each of those within her triangle, and you're earning 2. Okay, so you're continuing to be a very smart leader. You're encouraging your personals to recruit. Oops, and there we are. There's an example you all asked for. So you've got a personal who recruited someone, and she or he then recruited someone. All 5%ers, except in the triangle, right? Oops, and look. So the team coordinator had someone on her team who recruited someone. There's a 5%er to you. Oops, and she recruited someone, another 5%er to you. So does that help? I hope that helps. Any questions? Because this is often a big area that people aren't clear on. So this would be your organization with no breakaways. You don't have a leader yet. Once the leader promotes, so let's say this gal that's in the triangle, her triangle gets bigger, there's 10 people in there, and I think going forward, I'm going to add a triangle next with all of her people. Then she and her group become a breakaway because she's now a sales leader. And as a sales leader, you earn 1%. But as an executive sales leader, you will earn 2% of the breakaways. Okay? Oops, here's another one. All right, so let's move on to earning your monthly business builder bonus. So congratulations to each and every one of you. You now have that opportunity to earn the business builder bonus. Very exciting. And I'm certain at this point that you're all fairly familiar or pretty familiar with how to earn this. And as you know, your B12s kind of adjust monthly. The more you continue to recruit, the more opportunity you have to build that business builder bonus. And what an incredible bonus, 3 or 6% on your B12s that are working and hopefully submitting sales, within your group. Of course, they're personal recruits only of yours. And all you need to do is recruit 2 engaged in the month to pick up the 3% and 3 engaged in the month to pick up 6%. So I really encourage you to set this as a focus. And you want to do that anyway to continue to build towards executive sales leader. We recommend that you recruit at least 2 a month so that will build you nice and strong, which we're going to talk about in a little bit as well. And I think is it Raina or Rena? I'm not sure. ESL by December or before. Woohoo! Oh, you just promoted to sales leader. You go, girl. You go, girl. You continue to recruit, teach your recruits how to recruit, and you go. You go. Congratulations. Well, as you know, it all starts here, right? It all starts with the 422, really best practice of any direct selling company. And certainly at Norwex, we know that this is the formula that successful team coordinators, sales leaders, and above do to build their businesses and move forward. So this is the leadership growth formula as you are moving towards ESL. So for sales leaders, again, this is taken exactly from the sales leaders and executive sales leaders that were on a growth program here at Norwex. They were growing their businesses into the next level. This, we know, is the formula for success. So now, as sales leaders, you want to be working towards the growth formula of 5 parties a month, always striving for 2 parties per party, always striving to have 2 conversations. And at this point, hopefully you're honing in on your recruiting conversations so that you're recruiting more than you did as a team coordinator. And if you're not yet, that's okay. That's what you're working towards. And then as executive sales leaders, you want to bump it again. You want to bump to 6 parties, stay the same, 2 parties per party, 2 conversations. And again, at an executive sales leader level, hopefully your skill to recruit has honed in even more and even better so that you're recruiting 3. And obviously, the 2 and the 3 equate beautifully to the business builder bonus. So from a party talk point of view, if you're having and striving for 10 people per party, with 5 parties, you would be having about 50 people that you'd be in front of or talking to or communicating with, however you do parties, in a month. And when you bump that number, obviously you give yourself 10 more people in a monthly basis, hopefully, if you are having 10 people per party. So your goal is 2 plus 2 per party. And then again, at an executive sales leader level, you're going to want to be recruiting 3 a month. So this is the time to start striving to get really comfortable and effective with 2 a month, or 3 if you want to get there already. So some best practices that I want to just cover with you, because it all starts with your personal business. And it doesn't even start with your personal business. It's always your personal business. Because without that, the rest of it doesn't even really matter. So let's talk about your personal party calendar. How are you feeling about that calendar? Is it something that you're comfortable with? You have all the parties you need to meet your goals? Or if not, here's the what, the how and the what. What can you do to add more parties? What is it that is at the forefront for you to get more parties? Rena, no, it's Rena. My calendar is full. You rock, girl. That is incredible. Kim, I have plenty of parties and active recruits. Fabulous, fabulous. I love it. I love it. So you're already there. There may be some people on the call that aren't quite there. So I want you to think about how you can affect that. Let's talk about the 2 of the 422. How do you feel about your ability to book 2 parties per party? There's the how, here's the what. What do you need to do to become efficient, to become effective? Usually it is simply practice, practice, practice. It builds confidence, that builds competence, and off you go. So we'll talk about how we're going to help you with both of these areas going forward here tonight. And then, do you have 2 recruiting conversations from every party you do? I want you to know this is a learned skill, as is bookings, that we don't come to this business typically knowing how to book parties. It's a learned skill. So here's the how. How will you adjust to improve the skill? And I talked a little bit about that. It's practice, practice, practice. Oh, good. I love this. We've got some people that want more parties, want more active recruits. All right. So 2 or more parties to grow, make it your goal. So think about how many people are typically in attendance at your parties. How many people does that put you in front of each month? And how many new parties do you usually get from each party? So you can start doing that math this month. It's always good to know what your ratios are. So then you know exactly what you need to do. You know, do you need to up the attendance? Do you need to simply have more parties? What is it that you need to do? So pay attention to that if this is an area of challenge for you. Well, here she is, our co-founder, our incredible co-founder, just reassuring us that the party is where it's at. That is the success of Norwex. We are a party plan company, and we know it works. You know, I've been in this business a long, long time, probably longer than some of you on this call have been on the earth. And I've shared many times that not much has changed since I started as a consultant 30 years ago. What has changed is the way we communicate. That's about it. Debbie recently shared, actually, on a call that I was on, her mother, if you don't know, is a sales leader in Canada. And she was just celebrating her 85th birthday. And apparently not only family was at the birthday party, but Debbie's mother's hosts and customers were at her birthday party. She was celebrating 60 years in direct sales. So she's got me beat, that's for sure. And she shared the same thing I just shared with you, that nothing other than communication has changed. So know that the party is vibrant and so necessary here at Norwex, because it really is a product that people need to see and feel and watch how it works to believe. All right, so for those of you that want to increase your parties, I hate to say it, but we need to go back, way back to the beginning, to your Frankie list. And this is the same list that is in your new consultant guide that all of your new consultants get, and on the back office. So I think you all know this is a living document. You don't ever, ever want to not keep this little baby full. And take 3 minutes to add 30 people. You know, take that time to do that if you're struggling at all with parties on your calendar. And it really is just an inventory list, right? It provides you with your leads. And if you need some help, we've given you some who's, some open-ended questions. So who will you share Norwex with? And why? Why is it important for them to know about Norwex? There's no question your enthusiasm is what helps people want to know more. I suspect those of you that are on this call, you had someone that was enthusiastic, whether you came through a party or not, about the business that caused you to be just as enthusiastic. So don't ever let go of this. And of course, this is what you always train your newest consultants to reference, is their Frankie list. So back to the tried and true. This is a best practice. This hasn't changed. I did a Frankie list back in the day. All right, so I want to really spend some time here on recruiting conversations. And the reason I do is this is, as I shared earlier, such a learned skill that we don't always focus on. So I want to share some practices that will help you become more confident in your recruiting. So it's so important to create the desire for someone to want to join you at your parties. And there are several ways to do that. One is during meet and greet. So how do you interact with guests before the party? That's what I call meet and greet. You know, when they're arriving and hanging out in the kitchen, maybe talking and visiting. Are you right there in the middle, asking open-ended questions so that you get to know the guests that are at the party? It's a critical time to begin putting your, what I call, recruiting antenna on. You are looking for potential recruits. So you've got to ask some particular questions like, how do you know the host? All open-ended questions. What do you do outside the home? Or do you work outside the home? And if they do, what do they do? And this is a favorite of mine. How do you like your job? When I used to ask that question, more often than not, I would get rolled eyes that they really didn't like their job. So I would simply say, you know what? I don't know if this is anything that would ever fit into your life. I invite you to watch what I do tonight. See what you think. Maybe it would. Something like that. Just kind of planting a seed. That's all I'm doing, is just planting a seed with them when they roll their eyes or tell me they hate their job. You obviously want to sprinkle recruiting seeds throughout your party. I'm sure you all know that. I'm sure you all do that. And you might need to freshen it up once in a while. If you're not creating the desire with your recruiting seeds at the party, then change it up. We have lots of great training on the back office on recruiting, and I'm going to show you one in a little bit. Not the video, but I'll show you one or where to find them. So find ones that work for you, that create the desire, that people want to know more. And then, of course, solution cards, they are fabulous. You can pick out the ones that you're most comfortable answering the questions of, and there are many, many ways to use them. So I encourage you to talk with your leader, or again, go on our back office and look at some solution card training. Of course, there's the Ask Me About My Job game, and if you're comfortable and confident that you can answer questions, go for it. If you're not as comfortable or confident, use the solution cards. They're the best. They're the best. Okay, so you're creating the desire before the party and at before the party at meet and greet and during the party. And then at checkout, I like to call it an eyeball to eyeball offer. Are you looking your guests in the eyes and offering them an opportunity to look at what Norwex could be for their lives? So you simply want to compliment them. One that I used to use when I was in the field is, oh my gosh, Mary, I so enjoyed meeting you tonight and I love your energy. That was my compliment. Obviously, it has to be sincere. You don't want to compliment them on something you're not sincere about. And then I would simply offer her the business opportunity. And it was simply something like this. I would like to offer, oh, excuse me, let me go back again. I haven't done this in a while. I would compliment her and say something like, you are the kind of person that I would just so find as an asset in my Norwex business. I'd like to offer you some information to look at about our business opportunity to see if it would fit into your life. So something very similar to that. And when I say offer you information, I'm handing her our fabulous sponsoring brochure. You know, the little square one. I love that brochure. And that is all I'm offering her at that point. I might give her more information, but that's all I'm offering her. And then the follow-up is simply making sure that you follow up after she's had a chance to look at the information. So you set an appointment. Say something like, I can't wait to hear what you think. I have some time tomorrow or the next day, which might be better for you. Now, of course, you've got to have time tomorrow or the next day to be able to follow up, but it's so important that it's sooner rather than later. And set the appointment. You don't want to leave it what I call as a dangling participle or a dangling whatever. You want to set the appointment so that you can then follow up and do an interview, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Okay, any questions? Tell me how that's resonating with you. Type away. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Oh, good. Somebody likes it. It's good. Okay, good. I need to be asking folks to ask me about my job more often. Yep. Great process. Like it, like it. Good. Good. I haven't been doing the greatest job recruiting. You know, Kim, we've got to practice to learn how to do it because it's not a skill typically that you come to this business in. Oh, good. You like the meet and greet. Great. Great. I need to get back in the swing. I getcha. I getcha. And I need to follow up better. Yeah, you know, you do all that hard work at the party and then for whatever reason we don't follow up. I remember it well. I was scared. I didn't want to hear a no. So I figured if I didn't call or follow up, I wouldn't hear the no. So I get it. I get it. It's such a critical part. So I want to just cover before I get actually into the interview how Norwex fits into people's lives. You probably know this because Norwex has fit into your life here some way. You loved the product. You loved our mission and wanted to share with people. You wanted extra income. You needed a flexible schedule and you wanted to do something perhaps fun outside of perhaps another job that isn't so much fun. So you know the reasons why people decide to start. And it's important that you're very clear that your newest consultant or your potential consultant has one or more of these reasons for wanting to become a consultant. So you'll see when you use the opportunity brochure as your interview piece that it is covering every single one of these reasons. So you will have no problem making sure you find out exactly what it is that is causing her to consider the business. So here is some recruiting video that you can watch if you need some more, I guess, encouragement. That's what I'm going to say. Some encouragement to practice a little more. So you can see where it is on your back office. Here's some recruiting seeds that you can do. And I'm sorry, this one is out of order a little bit. This one should have been a little earlier. So here's some recruiting seeds that will create the desire at the party. And these are just examples. Use your own. If these work for you, great. But it's just an example. I love being part of Norwex, knowing I'm making a difference, right? That many of you feel this way. Actually, you may feel this way about all three. My commitment to safe choices and my family's health has become more than a job. Excuse me, more than that, it's now my job. Excuse me. And then the last one, please don't be afraid to talk about income. Sometimes people think that we are doing this for the free product, that we're being paid in product. So let them know that you make money and that it's helping your family's budget. So here are just some examples, and I apologize, they're out of order. It should have been sooner because I'm now talking about the interview. As with this one, recruiting package. Sheila likes to call this the purpose package. It's whatever their purpose is in joining us. So if you want to give someone more than the opportunity brochure, and that's perfectly fine, I encourage you to include these items or just a catalog, totally up to you. I strongly encourage you, though, to not give out more than what you see here. If you're inundating someone with a lot of information, it's very easy to overwhelm them. So I ask you to err on the side of less versus err on the side of too much. You can always give them more, but you can't take it away. So I apologize. This one is out of order as well. So this would be back at checkout when you're offering them the opportunity to look at what you have. And when they agree to take it, you give them the opportunity brochure, and then before you send them home, give them the rest, whatever else you want to give them. There it is, my favorite. That's the opportunity brochure. I call it the best resource because not only does it share all the reasons why people want to start in this business, so it'll resonate. One of these pages or all of them will resonate with them, and it's the easiest thing to use to do your interview. So let's talk about the interview. You can simply go through the pages of the brochure one by one and talk about each one. The intent of the interview or the follow-up call or follow-up meeting, and hopefully it's more than a communication via text or email. Hopefully you're actually talking to them so they hear the excitement in your voice. However you do it, though, it really has three key elements. You're building a relationship with them, right? You're building the relationship. You're exploring the business with them, figuring out their why. And that goes back to the reasons why someone starts. And helping them make the decision. And if they say yes, getting them off to a successful start. And we offer all kinds of support to help them get off to a successful start. So here's some fun open-ended questions that you can ask during this interview as you have the opportunity brochure in front of you and in front of them. Oh, Molly loves it. Loves this brochure. Yes, informative and not intimidating. Absolutely. I love the size just for that. So here are some questions that are all open-ended, and they're open-ended so that it's not a yes or no, and they can give you information. That's what you want. Remember, you're building a relationship. So ask them, what appeals to you most about your opportunity to join us? Either before you start with the opportunity brochure or after you're done doing whatever explanation you want to do as you, if you will, interview. Here's another one. How would you like to benefit most from being a consultant? Now, when you ask an open-ended question, I need to help you make sure you don't answer the question. I want you to know that there might be awkward silence. That's okay. I want you to count to 10, maybe even 20. Put your finger in your mouth and bite on it so you won't talk. Give them a chance to answer. Don't be quick to quell the silence. Here's a great question. How do you feel about getting started? Another thing you can ask there that's not listed is on a scale from 1 to 10. Tell me where you are about joining Norwex, becoming a consultant, joining our team, whatever it is you want to say. This is a good one. How many parties a week would be comfortable for you and your family? This is setting an expectation of a successful start. Please don't be afraid to ask that question. You will be very surprised what you hear. This is another good one. How much income would you like to add to your family's budget every week? Again, you are setting an expectation of success. And then, of course, how can I best support you? This is a very important question so that you are training and supporting them the way they see themselves being trained and supported. So I hope you like these questions. I encourage you to either write them down or take a picture of them because they are great questions for an interview. Excuse me. Again, you might need to practice. Oh, good. Thank you, Rose and Jennifer, that you like them. Great. That makes my heart sing. Now, is everybody going to say yes? Of course not. You already know that. So here are some things that you can say when they have a concern about starting. Always validate them before you go on to try to help them, if you will, overcome their objection or at least look at their objection. If you don't validate them and you, what I call steamroll them, go right into all the reasons why that shouldn't be of concern to them, they think either consciously or subconsciously that you're not listening. So I really encourage you to validate whatever concern they have. So let's say, what's one of the biggest ones you hear all the time? I don't have time. Right? You hear that all the time. So here's what you can say. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm so glad you told me that. Wow, we have something in common already. You know what? I felt the same way. And I had the same, well, you won't say that to time. Maybe I had the same experience. I found myself thinking the same thing. I understand your concern. I hear you. Any of these are fabulous ways to attempt to help them find a solution, if possible, to a concern that they have about starting. Any thoughts about that? Yeah, I don't have time. Those are always the best consultants. Amen, Kathy. I agree with you. When they say they don't have time, they're the busiest, they get the most things done. But please validate them before you go on to offer a solution. And these are great to write down or take a picture of as well. I remember when I was learning how to do all of this as a new consultant and new sales leader, I had all of these open-ended questions written down and how to help someone overcome an objection or find a solution. I had them written down so I could look at them while I was talking with them, or I could, well, I didn't do this because I didn't have texting. You can use them if you're going to be texting with someone. Yeah, time management is something that you can all help them with. Yeah, people think they're busier than they really are. Often, absolutely, absolutely. You're all busy women, so you can relate, right? So be sure to validate them. Be sure to let them know you're with them. So as you begin to start these people, so they say, yes, I'm ready to roll. Let them know that the starter kit has everything they need to host their first parties. Are they interested in a kit builder? I leave that to you. Certainly they're available if someone wants what I call the easy button. Office suite, absolute must, right? How do they possibly do business if they do not have online presence. And of course, they have 60 days to use it for free. Launch party, we recommend 2 dates. I encourage you to make sure you share that. That goes back to how many parties would be comfortable weekly for you and your family for you to do. Well, we recommend, for a successful start, we recommend two dates, right? Then we've got to train them on how to book parties. We cannot, and I repeat, we cannot leave them to their own devices. We have to go back to the Frankie list, help them make it, and then help them understand how to book parties. In my opinion, it is the most important skill any consultant needs to learn. It is something that needs to be practiced. And once you become effective and efficient, it builds confidence, competence, and builds your business. Of course, the fresh start, you want to make sure that they understand their, if you will, new business consultant program. And there's no reason why you can't invite them to consider the 360 app for support. Now, they're brand new. Keep that in mind. They may not even have an understanding of some of the things that are on the 360 app, but certainly at some point during their 90 days, I hope that and encourage you to get them on the 360 app. Certainly at 60 days, if not before, I would want to help them see where they are and what additional training they need. And hopefully you've done that already. Here is something that came from Ginny Conrad. She's a vice president in Texas that I think most of us have adopted because it's pretty succinct when you start someone. You want to know their why. You're going to help them with their Frankie list so you know who they'll be talking to, who they'll be sharing the business with and inviting to join them, or inviting them to have a party, or inviting them to start the business with them, right? You want to make sure she knows what to say when she's talking with them. So here's back to the teaching them how to book parties. Help them. They don't know how to do it. And if they get discouraged, they will think they're not good at it. So please teach them. Here's a critical part of getting your consultants off to a successful start. Asking them when she's going to start talking to the people on her Frankie list, to invite them to her launch party, to invite them to have their own party, to invite them to join her. That may be new for you. So I really want to encourage you to help her with that piece. We recommend she gets on that in the next 24 to 48 hours while she's excited, while it's fresh in her mind. So you can certainly add that. Hi, Holly. Yes, this is being recorded. And yes, you will get the recording as a registered attendee. If a recruit says she's joining for the discount, I'm learning a balance of how much interaction to have with them. Any tips on this? I always say whenever we've had a JFF in the past, that even if they're joining for the discount, and I say that in quotes, we have had so many hundreds, if not thousands, of consultants who joined for the discount, in quotes, who simply tried the business out by hosting a launch party or two and a couple other parties to see what they thought. And before you know it, they are now a leader in the company because they couldn't believe how lucrative it was and how much they enjoyed it. So yeah, you may have some JFF people that are hanging around from another time. So by all means, just ask them to try it. Just ask them to try it. Even if they're not a JFF person, right? Because we haven't had, have we had a JFF this year? I don't know. I can't keep track. Even if there's someone that says they want to join for the discount, well, we want them to earn their kit for free. So just try it. Try it. Schedule 2 launch parties and 2 others and see what you think. And let's talk. How was that? Oh, thank you. May this year was a JFO. How quickly I forget. So yeah, no matter when it is, if they join for the discount, absolutely. And if you're one of those people, you know the words to say. You know the exact words to say. Thank you, Bryn. Here's a great checklist. This also is available to you online. You can see right down below. This is a great system for you to help train your new consultants on getting started for success. So I encourage you to download this. Have one for each consultant that comes onto your team that's in your group or is a personal, so that you know exactly what you've trained them on. It's a wonderful piece to have a system set up. You know, as you get to ESL, you're going to need a system. You're going to have more and more people then on to Red Jacket and Vice President if those are your goals. So now is the time to get your systems in place as a sales leader. So as you develop your newest consultants, and you're looking to develop leaders, it's critical for you to start them for success. And here it is. So you set expectations. We've already talked about that. You have new consultant training. What do you offer to support their development? Do you send them to the Norwex new consultant training? You know they happen twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, every week, kind of no matter what, unless it's Christmas, or even a major holiday. We tend to do them on a major holiday. So that we have great training. Encourage your consultants to go to those trainings and then just follow up. How about a career coffee? You have that brochure as a PDF on the back office, and it's a great tool for you to discover, if you will, where your consultant is about 60 days in. See what's next for their business. Do they want to move to look at leadership, or do they simply want to build their party schedule? You help them at that stage to develop best business practices. So obviously when they start, they have fresh start. 60 days in, you want to see where they are and offer them, if you will, a discovery call. We call it a career coffee. Then if they do want to move on, get them ready for TC. So when you do that, again, we have promote to TC calls that you can use, right? So go direct them to our company calls. And I recommend, if you have TC people ready for TCs, and you may not be here yet, so don't stress about this, but you want to be working as an ESL certainly with 5 people at a time, because they're just like parties on your calendar. Some will and some won't. Some hold, some reschedule. Some hold, some cancel, right? So you want to be working with, if you will, a handful. And then either do your own promote to TC calls or use what we do for you. We provide such incredible opportunities to support you. It's to support your efforts in growing your business. You want to build TCs. Why? Promote and grow bonus. You get a $100 promote and grow bonus when they are active in their following month of promotion. So obviously their team is active. They simply need to submit $250, and of course you have to be paid at sales leader or above level to collect that $100 promote and grow bonus. Woo-hoo-hoo! Who's going to Cabo and or Norway? I bet there's some people on this call. I bet there is. So let's double up your points. So for your team coordinator promotions, you're doubling your points. So go, girls and boys. Make sure that you are working with potential team coordinators now through October, because this double points for team coordinator promotions ends November 1st at noon. So you're going to want to get people in the pipeline, send them to whatever we're offering as a company. If your leader is offering promote to team coordinator or any kind of leadership, anything, encourage your people to go there. All right, so here we are. Hopefully you have your goals. Your motivation is your why. Here's your what's. What do you need to learn to help you get to ESL? Are you using what you know? Sometimes we don't do that, or we change things. Are you practicing? Do you have an accountability partner? I encourage you, if you don't, follow up this call with your leader. She can be your accountability partner. Send your 360 commitment for your growth plan to your leader and your regional sales manager. They will be happy to help follow up with you. And then how about this? Just do it. Just do it. You simply need to practice as long as the rest of it is all in place. So I encourage you, just do it. Do it, do it, do it. All right, I'm going to open it up for questions and answers, and then I have a quote to finish up our time. So I do need to finish. And we ran a little bit over, my apologies. I do need to finish at my time anyway, 8:45. I don't know what it is wherever you are. Rena, good girl. Rena, I'm sorry. I'm totally messing up your name, but good girl, you've already sent yours. I love it. And you agree it's incredibly important to have an accountability partner. Absolutely. Help you get through the ups and the downs. I know the new consultant start checklist is in the starter kit. Yeah, that's right. But is the resource somewhere? Yes, it's in the leadership development guide. Thanks a million. You're welcome a million. So I want you all to know that the plan is to do this call or webinar, or whatever you want to call it, monthly. So if you want to join again, you are more than welcome to join again. So don't feel that you only have to do it once. Of course, you're going to get the recording so you can listen to that at your little heart's content too. But I encourage you to encourage your sales leader friends that want to be ESLs, or if you have a sales leader that you have on your team that wants to promote, have her join in. How often do you check in, and what do you say to consultants who say they are working their business, then do nothing? I love that one, Mary Lou. I think it's important that there is at least a monthly check-in at this stage in your business, whatever that looks like, whether it's a text, whether it's a team meeting, whether it's a phone call. And I think right now is a perfect time to say something like, we're getting ready for the fall season. Obviously the new products are out. I just want to check in to see what your plans are for your business this fall. If they don't return your message, your communication, whatever it is, then you certainly can check in next month with a text. Hey, just checking in, see what your plans are, or to see if your goals have changed. That's all you need to do. If they want to build their business and then are not working towards those goals, I encourage you to talk with your leader and or regional sales manager so you know best how to coach them through that. Oh, thank you, Holly. Oh, you're so kind. That means a lot. Oh, I plan to be an ESL in October. Woohoo! You go, Molly, with Stephanie, my sales leader as well. Good for you. Good for you. Well, I hope we've given you some best practices and tips tonight that will help support that for you. Good. And then certainly reach out to your leaders and your sales managers for support. Any other questions? Oops, Kathy, I'm sorry, I must have missed one, and they kind of moved pretty quickly, so let me go back, Kathy. For people who are dormant and then out, my question is, if they want to reactivate, what would be the cost? You're right. Could they be reassigned to someone else? No. If they reactivate under the same recruiter. If they drop off, if they totally drop off, they become dormant and then they fall off the face of the earth, if you will. They go off your reports and they decide to restart, they have to restart with a kit. And they can then come in through anybody they want. Oh, Angela's accountability partner is on the call with her tonight. Great. So you two can have some fun after the call. Love it. You're welcome, Kathy. You're welcome. Sorry I missed it. Thank you for typing in again. I'm going to stay on for another few minutes, but I want to take you to the last slide. Again, John Gordon, who we all had the privilege of hearing, the goal is not to be better than anyone else, but rather to be better than you were yesterday. So I hope tonight will give you some pointers, some encouragement, some words that work, so that tomorrow is a better day for you. Tomorrow is the beginning of a different way of doing business, or tomorrow is a way of supporting you in a different way. You're welcome. You're welcome. And you're welcome. I love this. Oh, thank you so much. You're very welcome. You're welcome. So it is, I think, just about, yeah, it's almost 8:45. So I'm going to sign off so that anyone else coming onto the next webinar doesn't see an empty screen. You are so welcome. You all have a wonderful evening as well. And thank you for your time and your kind words. And please don't hesitate to email me and share all of your successes, because I so look forward to hearing about them. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous tonight. Bye-bye.